Hey, it is cut. Let's talk about some Friday Night SmackDown from May 2nd. So LA Knight comes out to start the show, and he's pretty much saying in this promo how he had a match against Drew McIntyre for the number one contender spot for the US Championship, but he could not win the match because Damian Priest and Solo interfered. So LA Knight was saying, that's my issue that I have, with Priest, because if Priest did not interfere, I would have defeated Drew McIntyre. So Damian Priest comes out and he was saying, he was pretty much telling LA Knight, like, listen, um, you were going to lose the match anyway because Solo spiked you. Solo hit you with the spike. But LA Knight was saying, no disrespect, but you messed up my match, and I don't have an issue with you, but you know, I do have a problem that you interfered, that you intervened. And Damian Priest was pretty much saying, listen, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, listen, Solo spiked you, and Drew McIntyre was setting you up for the Claymore. So if I didn't interfere, Drew McIntyre was going to take your head off. So I like this promo. It was really good. And then pretty much the guys, I think it was LA Knight, he was saying, you know what? Let's have a match right now. And then the announcer came out, not the announcer, the general manager comes out, Nick, and he was saying, you know what? Let's make this a match right now. And so this match with Damian Priest and LA Knight, it was a really good match, and the fans really got into it. The fans were saying, this is awesome. At one point, LA Knight hit a really nice power slam. It was just so smooth how he got Damian Priest up. And then also Priest later on in the match hit the Razor's Edge. And then also LA Knight hit the leaping superplex, which was just really good. And of course, we didn't get a finish for this match. It ended in a no contest because Solo attacked Damian Priest and LA Knight. And then I think, the guys were brawling, and then Damian Priest, he punched Solo, and then yeah, Damian Priest punched Solo, and then LA Knight hit his finisher onto Solo. And then Jacob Fatu comes out again, and he pretty much attacked LA Knight and Drew McIntyre, with the Samoan drop, and he hit LA Knight he hit Priest with the hip attack. So that was a really good way to open up SmackDown. I really enjoyed that segment, and I think was probably my favorite thing from the show. And overall, this SmackDown from May 2nd, it was actually a decent show. And then we had that tag team match with Fraxium. They defeated Pretty Deadly, and that was a really entertaining match. I looked away from this match for a couple of minutes, and I went back to it. And from what I saw, it was a really entertaining match. And I know at one point Nathan Fraser, he hit some kind of dive or whatever move onto one of the members from Pretty Deadly, and he kneed him right in the head. So the referee was counting, and she stopped the count. She was, pretty much he was not. I think the guy was just out of it, and the referee stopped the count. But I'm thinking the guys were going to win anyway. Fraxium, they were going to win anyway. Why couldn't they just ended the match right there? And they could fill it. They could fill in time, in other segments or whatever, or just prolong someone's entrance because they don't have any issues with doing that. But yeah, so that match after that, whatever that hiccup, the match went a couple more minutes, and the guys hit a double team move onto the other member of Pretty Deadly. So yeah, that was some good stuff. And then Nia Jax, she came out. She had a promo saying that she's refocused and how she wants her championship, and she's going to take out Tiffany Stratton. And then of course Tiffany comes out, and she was saying, "Listen, I will fight you now. I don't have a problem with getting down right now, but I don't make the matches." And then Naomi comes out and she says, pretty much was saying, that she has changed. She is no longer, the happy go lucky, person. And she also said Tiffany and Nia screwed her, but she's the bad person. She's the bad person now, but and then also she also mentioned, yeah, how they screwed her out of the championship, that kind of stuff. And that was pretty much to set up a tag team match for later on. And then also Jade did come out and she attacked Naomi. So yeah, that was some pretty good stuff. And Naomi, I really like her on the mic. I really like this change in her character. I think it's good to see this because her old character, it was just getting old and stale. So this is some really good stuff. And then Miz had a backstage segment with Carmelo Hayes. And I actually like this, the promo, backstage promo from the Miz, and he was saying how he's been here for a long time, and how Malachi Black is not going to take him out, and how he was a former, WWE champion. He's the Miz. He's awesome. But he said some good stuff. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was some good stuff that he said. And then we had that match, Malachi Black versus the Miz, and this was a decent match. Some back and forth stuff, and I thought at one when a match first started, I'm thinking, are they going to just have Malachi Black knock out the Miz? And they didn't. So they got a few minutes, and eventually Malachi Black, he hit his finisher and he won the match. So some good stuff. And then this match right here, Zelina Vega versus Piper Niven. This match just went on way too long. I was not a fan of this match. I just felt like it just dragged. I'm like, okay, when is this match going to be over? I don't know. I don't know how much time they were given, but it felt like a long time. Pretty much, Zelina Vega, she defeated Piper Niven. That was it. And this right here, Randy Orton, he comes out. He's first, I think at first he walked past the audience or the crowd or whatever, and then people had their hands out like shake my hand, shake my hand. And then he went back. He was shaking hands. He gave one kid a hug, and it seemed like it seemed like Randy Orton was happy, because you don't really see Randy Orton, shaking hands, with fans. And then so pretty much when he got in the ring, I'm like, okay, here we go. It's just going to be a long promo because that promo from last week, well, 2 weeks ago, with CM Punk, John Cena, and Randy Orton, it was for over 20 minutes. I think it was 21 minutes, 22 minutes. It just went on way too long. But pretty much with this promo, Randy Orton, he was saying, what he is going to do. He's going to take out John Cena. He is going to win the championship. And at the end, he fired up by saying that he's going to be the one to knock Cena out, and that he's going to drop him with the RKO, and that pretty much John Cena is going to be the latest legend that he has to put down. So some good stuff. Like I said, he fired up at the end, and it didn't go too long. It was just the right amount of time. But at first I was a little worried. I'm like, okay, I don't think we need another lecture. So that was some good stuff. Ray Phoenix versus Escobar. What is his name? Yeah, Ray Phoenix versus Escobar. So this match right here, I thought it wasn't a bad match. At first, I wasn't really crazy about the first half of this match because they were like slapping each other. I'm like, okay, what is this? Some kind of slapping contest? And I don't like that. That's one thing I do not like, when the guys just slap each other, and then they say, okay, hey, wait, let me see if I can smack you harder. Like, it's just stupid. And John Moxley is one of those wrestlers who does that in all of his matches or most of his matches. And it's just so dumb. So why are they doing it here? So anyway, Ray Phoenix won, and yes, overall it was not a bad match. Just like I said, the first half I had to took me a little to get into it, with that slapping stuff. And then we had the main event: Jade Cargill and Tiffany versus Naomi and Nia Jax. So this was some good stuff. Not a bad match. And Jade Cargill, pretty much towards the end of this match, or the finish of this match, Jade Cargill, she power bombed Nia Jax. Nia Jax was Nia Jax was attempting to hit Jade, or she was setting up Jade for the Annihilator, but Jade Cargill, she woke up, and she power bumped her, and she got the 1, 2, 3, and then after that, Naomi attacked Jade Cargill. Well, she pushed Jade Cargill into Tiffany, and then at the end, Naomi was holding Tiffany's championship. So overall, like I said, it was a decent show. There's some good stuff, especially the LA Knight and Damian Priest promo. And then speaking of that, with Damian Priest, because I think LA Knight is one of the best on the mic and he's just really entertaining. But Damian Priest, he held his own against LA Knight in that promo battle. So I thought that was just really good. So I want to see more of this from Priest because he was getting stale for some time. And then also the match, Damian Priest versus LA Knight, good stuff, awesome stuff. I really like that. The Naomi, that segment, it wasn't the best, but I actually, like that, that little, with Nia Jax, when she first came out, when she was talking, I was like, I don't really know. And then Tiffany, like I said before, she came out, and then also Naomi and Jade. So that was, I thought that was decent. Malachi Black versus The Miz, that was pretty good as well. And then the Randy Orton promo and the main event. So some good stuff. Please let me know, how did you feel about the show? Take care and have a good one.